Welcome back to the morning show on XL7 TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Zadora, the C-Team, Century 21 Lemac Realty. 870-405-0793 is their number. Give them a call, and this is Mr. Bobby Z.
Morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. We had a great time Saturday at the event.
I was going to ask, how did you?
Yeah. Oh, no, we were great. Food was good. Everybody at our table had a great time. It went very well.
Got up and left pretty quick.
Well, I had taken Linda in during the week to get her hand operated on, and she was only like 2 days out. So
lucky she showed it all.
Yeah, kind of hard. So I got her home and we drove with Jason. So that was kind of that.
Yeah.
So
nice crowd for that event.
it was a nice crowd.
We're talking about the Mountain Home Gridiron Club
Yes, I'm sorry.
Steak Dinner and Auction that was last Saturday night. Packed house, very good event. Like Mr. Z said, good food. Good entertainment.
Yeah.
You should have stuck around for the auction of the cookies. I'll tell you a little bit of story. I'm going to eat up some of your
Go ahead.
time here, but it's going to be a quick story. Last year, a wife of the mom of one of the players made a cheesecake. And, of course, the auctioneer and the gentleman up there with him made a big deal about no one should ever let somebody else buy your wife's cheesecake. So the bid for this cheesecake got to $600, and the husband bought the cheesecake. So this year, right as the auction's starting, the gentleman that bought the cheesecake interrupts the whole auction, shuts it down, and says, "You remember when?" And they both said, "Yes." "Well, so-and-so, I have this for you. What is your favorite cookie?" He said, "Chocolate chip." "Well, I've talked to your mother, and she has made you 2 dozen chocolate chip cookies. And you know a man should never let anyone else buy his mother's cookies." That was $1,500 worth of chocolate chip cookies by the end.
Cool.
By the time it was over.
Good. Well, some very generous people. That's what we have here.
And that's where I was headed with
Yeah.
this. This is
Definitely,
an event
Bob.
that happens every year. This was the 5th annual. And how the community supports that event and comes out not only with buying the tickets for the steak dinner or the corporate tables or just helping set up or donate items to be auctioned off. It's just the people that come together to do something like that.
Yes, indeed.
It's none of it is possible without the support of people like you, Miss Linda, and the other folks in town that buy the tables and help support and donate the items. But it's all great.
Oh, it is, and a great cause. And the kids are great. You could buy several football players for your team. Things like that. There was some clever marketing there to help continue to raise money. I don't know what the final number will be, but whatever it is, we know it's going to go for good things. Help feed the kids, come and go, and all the stuff that needs to get on. Growing young men eat.
And their friends, because they never eat by themathemselves.
That's right. It's a group thing.
Yeah,
it's group, and that's what you want. Group thing is good.
Business has been good?
It has been. We've come into a number of big things that have gone on. We've listed I mentioned last week briefly, the church in Cotter that's being used currently as a VRBO. And it could continue to be used as a VRBO. It's a great event facility. It could be a private residence, where someplace looking for a little summer home where they're going to come and fish a couple, because you got guys that come and fish, 3 days and then they come back 3 months later. It'd be perfect for something like that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms in there. Great, that upstairs and where the church itself was, with the great wooden floors. The bell still works. And then down the street from there, the old hotel, commercial hotel, we listed that, and that's been stripped down to nothing and rebuilt. I mean, they did a phenomenal job on getting that done. It's individual rooms in there, a great lower level. There's 3 suites down there with baths, and one's handicap accessible. I won't say it's ADA, but it's handicap accessible. And great Cotter facility. And then she listed 125 acres off of County Road 15. It's a really nice house, great shops. Guy did a really, really nice job, and big shops. And a boat slip. So those are you know, and then she listed a couple houses in the midst of all of that. So Jason's been busy flying the drone all over the place. He's been doing, and I'm sure others will start to copy this because that's the way things go. He does a fly through. He comes through the front door and he tours. It's a virtual tour with the drone. It's all in one. He does it all in one shot. And out the back door, come back out the front and go up, show you the property, show you the roof line and everything, so you can see where things are. Really, really stepped up, and has done a great job with that. And like I say, as with most things that we've done, people have copied them, and I'm sure that there'll be others doing that too. But he's really, really on top of this. So.
Last week we spoke briefly, way longer than what we intended to, about the new change of the having to sign an agreement to see a home. I got a phone call from someone that watched the show from Washington State. They lived here at one time, moved away to work, and then stayed away, and they're planning to come back. And he called me and he said, Arkansas just shot themselves in the foot with that law. I said, why is that? Well, because now nobody's going to want to go look at homes. I said, why is that? Well, they don't want to sign an agreement with one agent all the time. I said, well, that's for a later show. I said, you'll need to be watching, and we're going to do that show next Wednesday.
Wednesday we are. And it's not just Arkansas. It's not like we just decided to shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, this is not an Arkansas thing.
Yeah.
This is not a Howlett.
This was a federal court decision that they settled on, costing everybody millions and millions of dollars. An interesting story. This week, there's the lawyers for one of the suits. There's like 3 parts of this, and the class action suit. And one of the lawyers are suing to get their money for like $38 million. $38 million the lawyers are getting. And it's a small handful of lawyers. It's not like it's a big, it's a very small handful of lawyers. Oh, because they work so hard. Oh, wait a minute. You do a third. Your prices are set at 1/3 to 36%, whatever it is. That's okay. And the people who were alleged by you, Mr. Attorney, to be victims, quote unquote, they weren't. They ended up with a couple hundred. I don't think anybody, I bet even in California and some of the bigger sales, I doubt that 100 people touched $1,000.
It's crazy.
At the end of the day.
We'll talk more about that on Wednesday.
Yep, we will.
Let's look at your numbers.
Frustrating. This week in real estate, there were, I extended that out too. This week in real estate, there were 64 new listings come on the market, 3 commercial properties, 16 parcels of land, 45 homes came on the market. That really jumped. They came on and ranging in price from $25,000 to $1.3 million. 5 of them are taking backups. There were 33 sales, 1 commercial property, 10 parcels of land, 22 homes sold. They range in price from $60,000 to $600,000. The average sale price this week was $253,000. The average sale price when they were listed was $262,000. 91 days on market, so that's still churning them right along. 9 properties expired, 28 residential price changes, and there's 31 residences pending waiting to close, and that number keeps getting smaller every week. Currently, there's 349 homes listed on the MLS. For 2024, year-to-date, there's been 686 homes have sold. The average sale price this year is $243,000 with 94 days on market. Last year, there had been 696 homes that sold for $159 million. The average sale price last year was $229,000 with 88 days on market. So the numbers are staying about the same. The prices are still higher. A number of bigger properties have sold. And there's been inflation has caused the prices to go up some, as well as the supply and demand issues. Homes that are priced right, that are ready to go, are going. You get into that 250, 280. That's really become the sweet spot. It used to be like 175 to 200. Now it's a little more than that, and that's just the way it is. But as more and more houses come on the market, that seller's market's going to turn around into a buyer's market. It's just economics. And that's where you're seeing that with the price changes. You're seeing more and more price changes come through every week. I tell people when we sit down with them, when they want money that's really not there anymore, it's not 2021 anymore. We're in a different market now than we were then. You could get that kind of money then when the interest rates were 3%. It's a little harder. We're 6.5% now, but that 3 points makes a big difference in your.
The Fed's kicking
price.
around the idea of lowering interest in September.
They got nothing to do with it. The rates that they drop are going to be your credit cards, car loans, student loans, that kind of money, overnight business loans. That's affected by. They used to call it the prime rate. Now they call it something else. But that's what that money is based on. That doesn't really affect. It doesn't directly affect mortgages. What it does do is psychologically it does, because people hear that number. But the rates are down. The 10-year note is down. And so that's where we're down at about 6.5 right now. And I'm sure there's been a big push from Washington. Just happened the week of the DNC, but that's where we live. So, but things are moving forward. People are coming down. I had a couple from Yuma, Arizona, and a couple from Colorado. And they're trying to get away from the people from California that are moving into their states. The Californication of these states is taking a toll, and then people moving to other states and then changing the dynamic of that state. You see states like Florida that could become more purple. Arizona has already become more purpley. You could see the same thing in Florida with the people from New York and the Carolinas moving down there. So there's always change. It's always the case. But if you're coming here and you are here and you're interested in moving and you're going to be finding the right home for the right time of your life, give my honey a call. She's at 870-405-0793. Check out the website, retiredarkansas.net. There's a bunch of information on there. All the drone shots are on there. We're on YouTube. We're on, I don't know, wherever else she puts it. That's what Linda does. She calls herself the back of the house, but she's the brains of the house, sitting in the back. She's certainly not sitting in the back seat, that's for sure. But give her a call, 870-405-0793.
This has been This Week in Real Estate with Mr. Bob Zador of the Z-Team, Central 21 Lemac Realty. 870-405-0793 is their number. retiredarkansas.net is their website. We'll be back in just a moment with Friday Sports.